I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see a man who's been in charge for more than a decade. Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions as they take on a man miraculously back from injury, Alex Smith and the Washington Redskins. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C. That's where the home of the Washington Redskins resides. FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They come in losers in 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. Here are the Lions. Number 9, Matthew Stafford under center. Working with a new offensive coordinator this year who has said we are a running team. Not something you hear much nowadays, so it remains to be seen what that will mean for Stafford's numbers in 2019. A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. And we look now at the Lions offense.
Running back Kerryon Johnson was drafted out of Auburn in the 2nd round in 2018 to become the Detroit Lions' lead running back, something they haven't had in a long time. In fact, in 2018, he ran for over 100 yards in a game in September, the first Lions back over 100 yards since Reggie Bush on Thanksgiving Day in 2013. They're hoping that continues, and he'll be the 3-down runner that they've been seeking.
A second-down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And here's the Redskin defense.
At corner is Josh Norman. I would think he'd want to quibble a little bit. Actually, you know Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. So out comes the Redskins offense as they get their first shot. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in '05 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
I think one of the things that attracted people to Alex Smith initially was his mobility, and that's never changed. That guy's a great athlete, but he's so sharp with the football, so accurate, and takes care of it so well, he rarely puts his team in bad situations.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. They run with Adrian Peterson, the second active leading rusher in the NFL. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
The #4 overall pick in the 2010 draft is left tackle Trent Williams, and oftentimes we talk about a guy of his potential and say just plug him in at left tackle for the next 10 years, but rarely does that work out. In this case, it's been spot on. A 7-time Pro Bowler, he patrols the blind side of all of his quarterbacks.
From the 17, Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he'll go at the 25. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. They know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 2nd and 12, Smith. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it will be 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Coming into this one, ranked number 19 in the NFL against the pass.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question you'd have to say that they've underachieved.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'd open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Automatic first down.
They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From just shy of midfield, Stafford, he's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Matt Patricia, he says now's the time. His guys are going to go for it on fourth. On the carry, it's Bawden. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them, perfect time to get it done.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. James has got it, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And they'll get this down to the 10. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On first down, it's Stafford. This will be caught at about the 5. And here he'll get it down to the 7. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 55 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being full.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Or maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to throw, Smith. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. This is Chris Thompson in his 7th season now as a Redskin. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season. But some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Now, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year, not to take anything away from him.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to grade the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They'll run on first down. It's Johnson, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Throwing is Stafford. He'll let this go for the end zone. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
Stafford's pass complete to number 19, Kenny Galladay.
After review of the play, the
They
rolling
go
on
to
the
the
field is
monitor, get an
reversed.
extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip.
Makes the score Lions 10.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Redskins take over first and 10. Their own 20-yard line.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up the first down and change our momentum?
The good pickup there at 22.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just gonna call it productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
You got 3. You got 4.
From the 44, Smith. Rashard Matthews here on the catch. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Lions have recovered.
Turnovers on the play. Eventually recovered by the defense.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens involved in that one. Sadly not taking on the Cardinals or Falcons, though. Instead, they'll match up with the Rams in L.A. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the 1st.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That could really, really be demoralizing.
On 1st down, it's Johnson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short game.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From the 40 now on second down. Stafford throwing deep for Galladay. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And it's third down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Here's Johnson. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 3rd down, Stafford, he's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first one. This from 44 yards out now. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
I'll bet you as they ran out there for that play, the head coach either on his headset or he pulled him aside and told the special teams coordinator, whatever block you've got, pull it out of the bag right now. We need a spark.
When you could just feel it on their sideline, the air just kind of out of the balloon. Now maybe you're right, a spark, a little bit of hope.
That's when the special teams coordinator who works on this ad nauseum, I'm talking about morning, noon, and night, he's trying to figure out, okay, where's my best opportunity? Which one do I have? And he pulled the right one and got his team going and hopefully back into the game.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Out of the gun, Smith. They'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Given 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, Peterson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Complete. Richardson has it. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
A loss of 2.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be third down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Smith. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up late.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Kerrigan, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And then with a dime left on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to